Jason,
Dr. Corsi, how are you?
I'm good. Is this a good connection?
Yeah, sounds good, sounds good. I'm sorry I didn't get to see you out there today, but the snow obviously is a problem.
Nothing we can do about it. It just was not prudent to come out. Accident potential and all kinds of other things are really high tonight.
Sure. But I'm glad at least that you got your YouTube live stream back on.
Yes, it happened last night. It was late. It was like about 11:30 at night, and I was working, just kind of answering emails and posting some things on Twitter. I was still pretty angry about it,
Right.
being disconnected, and then I suddenly get this email message from the YouTube team saying your account has been restored.
Hmm.
And I was pretty shocked. I didn't expect that. I take a look, and it's restored. It was back. I mean, first of all, they completely messed up my Google, but it's on my Gmail account because I had linked the two together, the YouTube and through Gmail.
Mm-hmm.
And so the Gmail was then completely down because it said it was fraudulent activity. I had to reestablish the Gmail.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I did that, I was able to connect back into that took time, and I couldn't figure out why it had happened. And then when I realized earlier in the day, it went down at 3 o'clock. At 3 o'clock, my Gmail account had this fraudulent notice.
Oh.
And when I looked at it, I realized that the whole problem was that suddenly they disconnected my YouTube without telling me.
Huh.
And so then later that night, that same day, it's Thursday,
Mm-hmm.
at 11:25 or so, I get this email saying that the account is back up. And when I check, it's up, and they also took away the 2 strikes, so it's all green.
And you hadn't done anything as far as appealing those strikes? It just happened automatically?
Oh, I appealed the strikes, and they
there you go.
denied the appeal. I mean, I
Wow.
did a screen copy that they denied the appeal, so I got that completely documented and recorded. But the issue was, to me, I never expected them to restore the whole thing.
Yeah, that's strange.
Like they did, and they just immediately back it in. It's restored, which to me was amazing.
Well, but the thing is, at the same time, it's still sort of disconcerting because the way these things happen, is it true that the Southern Poverty Law Center is somehow censoring for YouTube now? Have you heard that, Doctor?
Yeah, that was reported by the Daily Caller that the Southern Poverty Law Center had been called in to do their refereeing, their policing of which accounts were going to be allowed to be on and not. And to me, that was, completely inappropriate to do that because, here I'm looking for a group that's going to police us that is itself a hate group and has, resisted and hated me and everything I've done since about 2004 when I wrote Unfit for Command.
Right.
This is a group that's notorious for its hatred, essentially, of any cause that's not, extremely left and agreeing with their identity politics. What's happening is a lot of people. I put out I'm on now Gab, and people realize I'm on YouTube as well, and they're signing up. I'm getting about 1,000 people every couple hours signing up to the 2 accounts.
What are those accounts, Doctor? You should share them with everyone so they can find them.
One is on Gab. So it's on, if you go to Gab, look Jerome Corsi. And the other one is on YouTube. It's also Jerome Corsi.
Right.
So you can find them both under my name. But the one on YouTube is JRLCORSI. It's my initials and my last name. JRLCORSI. Gab is just Jerome Corsi. You'll find it searching Jerome Corsi.
Of course. I think I might have mentioned to you that Crowdsource the Truth was also knocked off because of this whole dust-up with the Spanish riding school and the story we had about horse abuse, allegations of horse abuse, I should say.
Well, I mean, I think it was, the whole thing is, first of all, attributable to Eric Schmidt himself. He's the guy who's running the company and created it. I mean, he's been the one who set a lot of the policy. I know he's resigned from Alphabet, and he's supposedly no longer there directly, but he's so hard left. He supported Hillary Clinton's campaign. He funded CrowdStrike, $100 million. They're the ones who are responsible for, I believe, inventing this Russian collusion narrative. I think Eric Schmidt faces potentially even criminal liabilities. the way the Hillary Clinton campaign was managed, and I made that clear. And now this is a purge. This is not sure, there may be some nice people working at YouTube, and I don't doubt it at all at Google, but the point is their policies are set so that if you're in any way a conservative or a Trump supporter, they got 1,000 words that their artificial intelligence engines pick up, and they say you're a hater, you're a right-wing extremist, and this was a purge to get us off the website and to control this broadband facility as if it was a little private reserve, even though it's a massive amount of the content. Sure. We're going to have an internet bill of rights, and if these people don't like it, tough, but they're not going to be able to bully around like they did. I was very upset about it. I expressed myself strongly on Twitter and then on Gab when I got on Gab, and I'm very angry and very angry is probably not the right word. I think the word is I think this is completely inappropriate. We're going to have First Amendment freedoms, Second Amendment freedoms applied to the internet. This is not just a little preserve. This is like a town hall.
Absolutely.
They want to say that town hall is a private building. That may be a private building, but they're going to have to comply with the freedoms we have as Americans, and not say you enter our private building, we throw you out at our discretion and our will, despite how much you've invested in creating your channel. The cyber world is going to create new phenomena that we're going to have to deal with. The one I'm concerned about today is the ability to screen or block you off of a platform like YouTube because of your political views.
Right.
Political views in the United States have to be tolerated. That's the heart of the First Amendment, including views you don't like. And if YouTube wants to be in the public forum, it wants to be a medium for public discourse, they're going to have to comply with First Amendment rules in doing so. They can't bring in the Southern Poverty Law Center as their police and then arbitrarily say these three things violate their guidelines, and you don't have any recourse.
No, I agree.
Finding a name of a person in Google, finding a name of somebody, and all the rest of it's nearly impossible.
It's true.
They don't put it on the website.
Right.
The lawyers aren't available. You may have found a lawyer. Who knows how you did it?
It was very difficult.
The point is, it's the way they're running this corporation. They're little private beefed up, and they exercise their muscle trying to control the internet, throw a purge of conservatives and libertarians off before the midterm election. That's the only issue I'm focused on today.
Well, and I agree.
And what I've got to say about it is I objected to it. I'm glad they reestablished me. I think there's going to be litigation on this. Whether I'm going to sue or not, I don't know. There's already litigation against YouTube on these kinds of questions. I'm going to follow litigation very carefully. I'm also going to follow FCC and FTC regulation, because I've heard the White House express the fact, which I agree on, the Bill of Rights is going to have to be applied to all these new electronic platforms.
Right.
And the Internet's going to have to comply with the kinds of rules that the public square has to comply with. So I'm going to kind of cut this short, Jason. I've got the family.
Sure.
And we've kind of had a weather disaster here.
Absolutely.
We're all trying to pull together. But I'll catch up with you more later. But the point I want to make is I'm glad it was reestablished on YouTube. I'm very concerned about what happened, and I'm not intending to let up on it easy. I think it needs to be pursued, and we need to find the proper forum, whether it's the FTC or the U.S. District Court, in which these issues can be duked out. And that's what they're going to be, because these are complicated issues in a new electronic forum. So I'm confident the American people will prevail. The First Amendment will prevail, and I'm going to stand by that and fight for that. So let me say that much, Jason, and thank you, okay?
All right, Dr. Corsi.
Okay, we'll catch you later, Jason. Thank you.
Bye-bye.